Hey guys, I'm going to try this one more time. So, this morning, some of you all were able to attend a live MS Teams meeting where I kind of walked through how I used Microsoft Teams. And I was kind of uploading that to all of my classes and YouTube as well. When I realized that if you look at it, uh, MS Teams, like the program itself, is somehow invisible during this video. If you can like watch it and I describe what my MS Teams is like, and I assume the people in the video are seeing me um, actually go to Teams, but somehow Teams doesn't show up in the video, which is very weird. I didn't know that was a thing that a program could even do, but it's invisible to its own screen share camera. So I'm coming over to Zoom to make this video so that you guys can actually see this. Um, yeah, I'll have to find out from the people who are in attendance if they could actually see me using Teams. But anyway, there's just really three things that I use on Teams. Assignments is maybe the main way of seeing your two graded assignments each week. They'll show up there, obviously. So the translation homework that is typically due Wednesday will show up here, and it is going to be due Wednesday. So that might be something a little different for e-learners because formerly I think you guys were allowed to turn it in on Thursday, but I'm hoping to synchronize e-learning and the people who were in the building who are also e-learners now as well. So yeah, that'll show up here. You can click on it. Usually it's just a PDF or maybe a JPEG if I have to resort to taking a screenshot. It's usually a PDF though, that you can print out. You can write out the Latin yourself on a digital, like a Word software, word processing software is the term, or you can just write it out in neat handwriting and scan that or take a picture and send it to me, hopefully through the assignments. But if you have any trouble doing that, you can chat it to me as well or email, good old email, either way. And your quizzes will show up here too. So we do have a chapter 8 translation quiz this week. So that's like the easiest part of Teams, I'd say. Under files, that's where you're going to see me post the recordings of the videos. If you're unable to come to the live stream for these classes, which will be at 8:30, you will come to this screen to watch your video. Right now, there's just one video because everything else is sorted into its weekly folder. Um, and that video is not a great video to watch because Microsoft Teams is totally invisible. Hopefully, Microsoft Teams shows up here. I hope it doesn't. Somehow it's like still invisible to the screen capture. I don't think that's the thing though, but I will find out soon. But anyway, there will be more videos posted here as well as just various resources. That's under files. I've heard some kids have trouble viewing it with their phone, but it's kind of like I hear different things. Some people they say it's fine, but hopefully you are able to check this on your on a computer at least some of the time. But I know the phone is a nice option to have, the app rather. The third and last thing that is the most complicated that is probably worth making this video for because I want kids to use it is the class notebook. If you try to open this in your phone's app, it'll prompt you to download a whole separate app called like OneNote, I believe. And so that might be fine if you can download that second app, and every time you click on it in the MS Teams app, it'll take you there. But that sounds a little complicated. So this is a big info dump here. I have my YouTube. I have my what should be defunct now, the Zoom meeting. I'll add the new Zoom times to this today. But when you click on that purple arrow, which is very easy to miss this purple arrow, it's this thing right here. Uh, Something like this should open up with just your name. And if you click on just your name, you will then see homework, maybe a few other things, but all I use is homework. And when you click on homework, you should see a list of all of these pages that I upload every week. And right now we're on week 13. So yeah, I just want kids to be able to get to this page. I think it's very useful. That's where I post the schedule for the week. That's where I post any general information and just kind of make an announcement for the week, as well as like this is the translation will be spot translating tomorrow. And this I think is the homework, which is also showing up in assignments. So, or I will assign it pretty soon. So yeah, hopefully you can use the class notebook. They kind of make it more complicated than it should be, but you open up this, click on your name, click homework, click on the week we're on, which is 13. It'll be 14 next week. after which we should be done with this, hopefully. And that is basically how I'm using Teams. Last thing, I want to show you my schedule for the week. Or just in general. So every day, this is how I'm going to stream MS Teams. I did it this morning. That's the video I was talking about where MS Teams itself was somehow magically invisible. But 8:30, that's a whole almost an hour after I would normally stream that class. But I figure why not? Unless you have a second period class and they're streaming, you should be able to come to this. I can't require you to come to it, but I think if you ask e-learners, they would tell you that just going to the classes makes their lives easier. That way it's like you don't have to you know, all these videos accumulating throughout the day that you eventually need to watch the recordings of. You just, you know, take care of the class during a set time every day. And, you know, routine is actually kind of nice. And so 8:30 gives you some time to kind of wake up and get going. And then you can hopefully come hang out with a Latin class that I presume will not last more than 30 minutes because these classes just tend to go longer. But if a bunch of people come, I can ask questions and it'll feel more like a normal class. So, yep, Latin 2.5. If you guys hear this, I'll do the same thing for you guys at 9:30, and then Latin 3, I'll do something at 10:30. So these are different times than I used to use, and I will be using MS Teams. So that is important to mention. This will be on MS Teams. So how does that work? According to the kids who were able to come to my streams this morning, they just saw a notification. I think Teams is good about sending a lot of notifications. And it'll show up in the same place where you see posts, like those general posts. And you'll be able to click on it. And I'll probably like start it around 8:25, but I'll like wait for some people to join, hopefully. And then we'll start at 8:30. Yep, and I think I said something about resources like this being added to files. A lot of people are going to need to make up their vocabulary quiz this week because grades for that were pretty low last week, guys. So I'll make sure that these 2 pages worth of chapter 8 vocab words are uploaded in probably multiple places on Teams. And that should be it, guys. Okay, so this is the actual MS Teams walkthrough. All right, thank you and goodbye.